Now when it comes to Drake, man, if you are ready to see how the biggest Drake glazer has went absolutely mad on him, and well, with this, he is exposing every single thing that he knows, and in the process, is not just showing how awful of a friend Drake is, but how awful of a person? Well, as this is one of those moments where somebody who is directly coming from Drake's side is stepping out of line, running away, and just letting out all of their secrets for everybody to see. Really make sure to leave a like so everybody can see what's happening, and well, see the truths that have just been exposed from somebody who the Drake fans would tell you, well, is one of the most loyal people that Drake had by his side. And so now what went down and who this all involves? Well, in the Drake glazer big three, which to me has always been Akademiks, Mal, and Top 5, well, who this is involving and who has went rogue is not Ak or Mal, because they don't respect themselves enough to ever even consider that. But it is none other than Top 5. And now with him, he has just set the rap world into an absolute frenzy, as after being the most aggressive person in Drake's entire circle, and well, with that, he has just constantly been yapping and talking, all to try and defend Drake and push their issues to any which way it goes. Well, after everything that Top 5 has done to just humiliate his name and make sure that pretty much everybody outside of Drake and OVO thinks he is an absolute menace who should just be stayed away from at all times, well, out of nowhere, he shocked everybody when he put up a picture of Kendrick Lamar holding one of his Grammy Awards and with Not Like Us playing, and he seemingly said some positive Kendrick Lamar stuff, which in the past, as Kendrick has been the main person who he has went after and tried to say all of these absolutely wild things too, well, all in order to defend Drake. This spoke volumes, and who came out to talk to Top 5 and figure out what was going on? Well, is a person who is from the West Coast rap scene and who is on the GNX album and has a good relationship with Kendrick Lamar, in none other than Hidda J3. And so what Hidda J3 said to him, well, in an exchange, he asked if they are homies now, and Top 5 responded and said, "My dog, what up?" And then Hidda said, "What's going on?" and "Stay true to you." Which then what ended up happening here is that Top 5 said that the nail polish guy is a weirdo for real, for real, for real. And with that, well, it's very obvious who he was referring to as the nail polish guy and why he is celebrating now with somebody who is directly affiliated with Kendrick Lamar and who is literally featured on the GNX album. And well, it's all because he just said that the nail polish guy is a weirdo, who of course is Drake. And well, he has seemingly went rogue on him. And after this moment where we found out that Drake's biggest glazer is now calling him a weirdo and hanging out with Hidda J3. Well, I mean, first off, to go to the extents that you have for Drake, just in terms of all of the people that you have agitated and instigated beefs with that go way beyond music, and then, well, as a result of that, all of the actual horrible situations you have put yourself in as a result of your own impulse? Well, again, as Drake literally did help you out of your own legal issues, and even get you to the point where you could be outside and defending him in every which way and trying to be the fake tough guy for the fakest tough guy that we know. I mean, just to see you go rogue after all of that, and after you made your entire personal brand being Drake's right-hand man, and being the guy who will take a beef way further than anybody else for all the wrong reasons, to really just desert Drake now and go rogue, this is absolutely baffling. But now when Top 5 actually explained this all and revealed the real reasons why he has turned on Drake, and then we see what he exposed as a result and extension of this moment, things get even crazier than you could have ever expected. And you know what I do think is funny about this, and what I really do think this shows as a whole, is that while in this era after Not Like Us, where Drake has tried to stay within the six a little more, try to act like a bigger leader of their rap scene, and also try to act like the undisputed king who everybody follows and who really does facilitate the entirety of the culture. Well, as we are going to find out, as this all started over Drake just failing as a Toronto rapper and as a leader of the scene as a whole, it just shows that Drake is not that, and Drake has about the same amount of control on this region that, I don't know, Ice JJ Fish does. And well, the reason why this all is as well as Top 5 exposed it all for Drake being one of the worst friends of all time. As now, after everything that Top 5 has done for the worst reasons, but again, he has done it in the name of Drake, and Drake has seemingly loved having this fake tough guy right next to him to intimidate, or at least give the perception that he is intimidating anybody he has a problem with. Well, for Top 5 to go on social media and see where Drake got himself in trouble today, which will happen to be all on those stories, he felt so betrayed now to the point that he is revealing OVO's secrets. And well, now he's running around with the guys who made G and X, which really does seem like a point of no return in terms of ever even having a chance to rectify this thing with Drake or walk back your comments. But now when you see what Drake did to him, you probably wouldn't blame him, which, just for reference, what Drake did was share and hype up the album from another Toronto rapper named Pressa, which he just released a project called Press Machine 2, which, just to add some context to this, and this brings everything full circle from what we've been talking about for a while in a certain way. If you remember with Pressa, this is a guy who Drake did a song with, which ended up leaking not too long ago, which was titled National Treasure, and that was the one where Drake was dissing DeMar DeRozan, and he had the Kawhi Leonard bar, for those who don't remember. And well, with that track and with that leak, and Top 5 also did confirm this, things were already not looking good between Pressa and Drake, and that's why Pressa released the track in the first place, as Top 5 said he was the one responsible for the leak, and he said it was because Drake was never going to put it out and give him his moment to shine. And just with that, this is where it's funny, because now while Pressa and Drake seemingly have had some sort of a rocky relationship just over the frustration of not giving him his moment on a bigger record, Drake's also managed to make a rival of his in Top 5 who was also a friend of his absolutely livid, and it's because Drake shared Pressa's album on his story, and well, tried to hype this thing up and, you know, did his typical thing where he tries to act like he's way more in the know about his scene and he is way more friendly with the person that he's talking about than he actually is. And so just with this moment where Top 5 saw Drake supporting one of his rivals and he was seemingly being dissed on the project, and I'm just gonna let Top 5 explain the rest of this himself, because honestly with the tangent he goes on and with the conversation he had with DJ Akademiks, the only way you could even fathom what's going on and how the Drake Glaze factory is just falling apart is by listening to these two just talk head to head about the biggest issue that OVO has seen publicly in a little while, which now get ready for it, because seriously, you're gonna need it.
I'm gonna call Top 5, all right? I haven't talked to Top 5 in a minute. My man Friday, Ricky Dredd, said, yo, hit me on this one. Yo, join Discord and join Discord. Friday, join Discord. You can break it down for me. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with the mandem? I got Top 5 here right now. Okay, good. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna get him on FaceTime. Make sure I don't show y'all the number because it's a new number. Here we go. Top 5. Yo, we on stream. We on stream, man. Yo, I'm looking for some topics. You sent me some, but I seen it deleted. But I seen a couple other blogs got it, and I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Hey, hold on. So I want to tell people what's up or what was up. So I seen you basically it says Drake shows love to Press. Oh, okay, this is making sense. Drake shows love to Pressa's new album, and Pressa's biggest op, aka Drake's Top 5, claps back by posting Kendrick. No, you Drake. Come on now. You told me you got say you moving around like you're moving around.
Tell me if that's not disloyalty.
Okay, all right, hold on. All right, break it down. Because you see, people are confused. They're like, yo, when Drake is going through stuff, you're the only guy they hear, and not saying that he doesn't have more people, but you're the vocal person online, and you're always like, yo, I'm riding for the guy. That's my guy, right?
And then look what happened. Look what happened now.
Oh, okay, so break it up. So these days, it look like you and Pressa aren't seen eye to eye. Could y'all reconcile it now? Yes, sir.
I don't like being around.
Okay.
He goes and posts my ops music.
Okay. So for whatever reason, you and Pressa don't really get along. Do you care to explain why I don't get along? Because you know what? The other day you called me and I said to you, because you said, Ak, where are we spending New Year's Eve together? And I said, and you said, you know, the last one we were together. Pause. And me and
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Me, you, and Pressa was in Jamaica at the first Vibes Cartel concert at the National Stadium. Everybody was friends. I remember, and I gave Boondog and everybody so much credit because we were rolling 200 deep in Jamaica. Where did it go wrong, brother? Where did it go wrong?
Bro, my mom told me she was mad I was chilling with her. So I couldn't continue those days, you feel me?
So
I couldn't continue those days. Keep it 100. Hold on. And when you want to go post my ops music, see, look, Akademiks could. Do I ever call you when you post his music?
No. And by the way, on both, like,
even though it's trash,
I look at it like this, because y'all, like, if I post something to yours, I feel like I owe them a post. If I post something to theirs, I owe you a post. You know, I gotta keep it fair. I always gotta keep it fair. Wait, maybe Drake has no idea that you're not getting along with Pressa. He doesn't know.
He knows. Because you know the crazy thing is, Pressa was supposed to perform at Wireless, and I told Drake, if you let this guy perform, it's a problem. So Drake pulled him out last minute. But then I told Drake, if I'm not on stage,
to Drake and say, yo, this can't happen.
No, but it's not even like a bad mind thing. It's like, I'm the one that got him at first. I'm the one that called Drake right now. I'm the one that said, yo, Drake, get him to perform and we're cool. And I wasn't rapping at the time. So he said, yeah. But when me and him were beefing, I'm like, if I can't get on stage, he can't get on stage.
Okay, wait, so you're saying, okay, now I'm getting it. So you're saying you the one who called in a favor to get Pressa on stage. And then, what the heck? Oh my man, what the hell's that?
I got the favor.
Okay. And then once y'all start beefing, you're like, yo, Drake, bring that favor back. If I'm not up on there.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's not one of those. Remember, his music sucks. He has to perform a song that's 7 years old.
No, he got a heater with Drake, though. National treasure.
Come on, Ak. You know why I got leaked. Ak.
Well, why do you think?
Ak, it's never coming out.
Nah, I think it might come out, bro.
Bro, I've been hearing that song for a year. I feel like Pressa leaked it.
They were saying you leaked it, bro.
Oh, bro, how do I don't even have the files. Am I TMZ? Do I even care about that freaky voice?
Okay, so did Pressa perform at Wireless?
No, he didn't. And can I ask you a question? How much units his album sold?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, I know right now you mad at Drake, but I know in your heart you don't like that song.
You know the part I like the most?
What?
And honestly, no trolling. I know Drake's not a respect him like that, but
don't
you know what he says?
Boy now.
I know that's the one thing I can agree. But you know that part where it says Chubbs with the heavy that's facts.
That's facts. Hold on. Yeah, five. Hold on, 5. Hold on. And I hate to break the fourth wall. Hold on. I hate to break the fourth wall, but I've known, a lot of things behind the scenes sometimes. So I know sometimes y'all have these little disagreements and then y'all fix it up or whatever. We all live. Don't say nothing that it's always going to be used against you. And because I think you mad,
hold on. Listen, Ak. Listen, out of everything, so it's like when this guy's posting my op, I didn't, and this is me keeping it 100 with you. I didn't get mad that you posted him. I got mad that you posted a man that's dissing my hood on these records. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, wait, is that a diss song?
Yeah, on the album he's dissing us. And even though nobody's listening to the album, it's still a diss. So it's not, I'm not saying you can't be friends with him. I'm just saying you're posting a diss record. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
That makes sense, right?
Okay, I get that. But why not just, if you say you talk to him every day, just call him like, yo, Drake. Like, bro, he's dissing our hood. Maybe didn't know. Drake is busy, man. Drake,
girls I get.
I know. You getting active. But come on now. Like, why not call him and be like, yo, Crody, I think you forgot I'm not getting along, and he's dissing me on his album and dissing my hood. Yo, take that down, bro.
Okay, you're right. But honestly, I've been
Did you
listening
reach
to
out?
now, like,
Be honest. Did you reach out?
yeah, and then when I said this guy's my op, he wrote a paragraph. I hear you, yo. I'm trying to make Toronto look good. I'm gonna make LA look good tonight.
And so with that conversation, which I mean Top 5 was clearly crashing out on, and he was saying some genuinely wild stuff. And you know, while Akademiks was trying to talk to Top 5 and get the scoop, he also was still trying to cape for Drake. Well, within this entire moment, which even with Ak and Top 5 talking like this, it's like the two biggest Drake glazers going head to head and trying to figure out what their guy did. I mean, you heard everything. You could be the judge for yourself. When you see Top 5 talking about Drake like this and just see what he did, which if you are friends somebody, and you know what, we don't even need to use analogies because in the very beefs that Drake has been in and that he has been crashing out about, the same thing that he did to Top 5 by supporting Pressa, and with that, as Top 5 explained on an album where he is dissing where they are from, well, ultimately, this passiveness in a lot of these beefs is one of the very things that made Drake not talk to a lot of people in the industry anymore and just crash out like an absolute mega Karen. As well, whether you agree with it or not, Drake felt like if you didn't pick a side and you didn't support him while he was down, he was never going to do anything for you again. So to just see him stand on all of that and freak out on so many different people, both in terms of big name rappers and honestly just like random people who have nothing to do with the competitive space and culture of hip-hop, which like you could even say a lot of this is similar to his situation with LeBron James. Well, just to see Drake freak out on LeBron the way he did for choosing Kendrick Lamar, but not really choosing Kendrick Lamar and just enjoying Kendrick Lamar and supporting him within the moment, but LeBron still made it kind of clear that he was a Drake fan and he would have continued to have been friends with him and still supported him if he didn't crash out the way he did. Well, when you see that Drake is now throughout the very logic that he has decided to diss LeBron like he is prime 50 Cent on for the last year or so, and then again, now he has betrayed one of the most loyal people he has to him. I mean, this just speaks volumes about who Drake really is, why things fall apart so much for him, and again, for the Drake stans who are still delusional about why everything happened and about why everything shook up the way it did, this ultimately does show and reveal in real time, and with somebody who once you said was on your side and who you guys all loved, and all he's doing is doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on the idea that Drake is not just a horrible person, but he is a horrible friend. And the only person who Drake looks out for, well, is Drake. And you know, one thing that I thought was absolutely hilarious about the confrontation that Ak had with Top 5 and the crash out and then the exposing that Top 5 started to do is that while he said that Drake does not do that one horrible thing, which I can't use the word, but he doesn't do that one horrible thing to people that, well, if he would do, he would be like the pinnacle and epitome of human garbage. Well, again, while Top 5 said this and Akademiks tried to act proud of Drake not doing this, although it's like the literal bare minimum standard bar, what was really funny is when Top 5 said that, well, Drake doesn't do these things, which just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't use all the words, but it's talking about and referring to bars in Not Like Us, which, well, Top 5 also shared when he was saying that he doesn't like Drake and he's supporting Kendrick, which all had to do with the Certified Lover Boy certified bars, and then also the bars about Chubbs. Well, what Top 5 said is that while Drake doesn't do one of the worst things and one of the worst behaviors you can engage in, Chubbs does. And while Akademiks tried to walk this back and kind of divert the topic to be more about Top 5 saying this and the implications that that could have on his relationship with OVO as opposed to the actual situation, I mean, I don't know. If Kendrick Lamar calling him out the way he did wasn't enough, to just see Top 5 straight out say this about people who he has been hanging around for over a year at this point, pretty much straight, as well, again, Drake went out of his way to make sure that he got free, and he has been supporting and running around with him to so many different key places ever since. Well, to just see Top 5 pretty much admit that Drake and his people do move in an absolute disgusting manner, and well, if we even knew half of the truth, we would be absolutely disgusted. this is not a good look for Drake, and this is going to be a very interesting situation to monitor in the very coming days, because like if Top 5 continues to crash out and just reveals more and more about these people that he feels so betrayed from, again, while the people in OVO now are going to try to disprove it and try to use Top 5's character and past actions to try and say he is uncredible and he cannot be believed, after this guy was literally the spokesperson for your confrontations and problems for over a year at this point, you can't walk it back. And if he's saying something and if the shoe fits, I mean, listen, I'm not saying to 100% believe everything the guy is saying without trying to give it any sort of critical thinking or reasoning or try to mirror it or reference it to any other information we know. But like this stuff now that he's saying, it can't just be disputed, it can't be thrown out, and it really does have to be looked at under a critical lens, because if he is revealing these things and he is at odds with Drake now, that is just telling us every single thing we need to know in terms of the optics of this. And you know, from exposing Drake the way he did to revealing that he enjoys Not Like Us or has wanted to enjoy it but only could listen to it in privacy until this very moment, that also shows us. And once again, while the Drake fans try to do that whole thing where they act like everybody is a secret Drake fan and people will diss him, talk bad about him, and go listen to him, which like I also showed my replays recently to say that I am not this guy, and I don't think any people who have talked about him recently are on that boat. Well, really, just to see that behind closed doors there is a lot of Kendrick Lamar worshiping and not a lot of Drake, that is absolutely hilarious, and it only makes all of this just more funny in the process of the chaos that is going down. And so really, when you just assess everything happening here, see Drake, OVO, Chubbs, and all of their reputations now get in a point where things are looking bad because somebody who was way too close to them has now went rogue and he has the ability to expose everything he knows. And then Akademiks is trying to mediate this thing like the desperate loser Drake puppet that he is. And at the same time, Kendrick's team just got stronger because now one of Drake's closest guys is working for them, which honestly, not that this was ever the connection because the timelines don't make sense, and Top 5 wasn't around for this time, but going back to Kendrick Lamar's 616 in LA, which feels like a turning point and a moment that did change everything just thematically, and in terms of what was in the air, it really does add even more weight to Kendrick saying, have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? Well, overall, for the Drake fans, even if you don't think OVO is working for Kendrick, OVO is working for somebody that's not named Drake. Because with somebody who is amongst the very top of them now running away, and while has given some of the most legitimate proof to the stories and ideas that you have all tried to call lies, and they have never seemed more believable. So listen, what I really do think from this point here on out is that this Top 5 and Drake beef has a long way to go, and either Drake is going to try to do his best to make the situation right, and maybe, who knows, Top 5 will get over this and he'll try to walk his things back. But what I do think is going to happen is that Top 5 is going to crash out more, and he is going to say some absolutely wild things that will tell us the truth about Drake and his people. And I'm sure in that process, Drake is going to go silent, because pretty much anytime there's actually an admission of guilt on his end or things actually can get bad, that's what Drake does. He doesn't talk because he knows the implications of what could happen if he engages in something that is showing some of the terrible things that he does. And so with that, as it does feel like we are in a time where the downfall of Drake could potentially get worse than we could have ever imagined at a point, and like when I'm talking about at a point, I'm saying even relatively recently, just in terms of how bad things really look for him to get any sort of success in the near future from now. Well, overall, this may really be the thing that ruins him forever, because if Top 5 gets to sharing these stories and they can gain any momentum and traction in terms of people actually believing them, seeing them, and then, well, just staining Drake's entire name, well, really keep your eye on this situation, because it has a chance to ruin everything within a way that we have never seen. And so yeah, that's all I got today. Let me know your thoughts on Top 5 going rogue, Drake getting exposed, and everything this is going to mean for the OVO losers and crash-outs. Now listen, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you for watching. It really does mean a lot, and I appreciate your support. And leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But now if you want to see how right before this, on the good side of hip-hop and where the good rappers are dominating and just doing great stuff, well, on Kendrick Lamar's side of things, there is a lot of rumors right now and a lot of work we are seeing his team do right before our own eyes that is all alluding to the fact that Kendrick Lamar very well could be releasing new music very soon. But you're not going to want to miss this one because it's really getting exciting, so check out the suggested video.